qualification round. However, do note that every single result from this first qualification round follows them through. So every single game that they've played so far will continue to count towards their qualification for the World Cup. Now, obviously, as hosts, the Philippines will automatically qualify for the World Cup. So they're in a bit of a different position than the other teams within the qualification phase. However, for India, every single game counts on whether they will make it. Here is the table as we see it at the moment. New Zealand topping the table, 4 wins, no losses. Philippines, 1 win, 2 losses, and India yet to pick up a win. Only 3 teams in this group due to the removal of Korea after them failing to be able to complete 2 of their fixtures. India now being introduced to the crowd, clearly considered potentially outsiders, but they're a team that are growing every time we see this Indian team on the court. They have certainly taken steps forward and become more and more competitive as they grow towards becoming a powerhouse within Asian basketball. As for Philippines, clearly one of the powerhouses in Asian basketball, driven by their fans every time they step on the floor. They'll be disappointed with their result against New Zealand on Thursday, losing that one by 46 points on the road. But as their hosts for the World Cup final here, they would do anything to be there. Just imagine Philippines in a World Cup final on their home floor. I think the atmosphere would be off the charts, to say the least.
And number 33, Carl Tamayo.
But the preparation is going to be absolutely key for the Philippines on how they progress in the tournament. We're now going to take a break in commentary to pay respect to the national anthems for both India and the Philippines.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are able, please rise for the national anthems of both teams. First, the national anthem of India. Please remain standing for the national anthem of the Philippines. Thank you very much.
Perfectly setting the scene for the game here today, as the teams now come together. In fact, they won't come together. They will just wave at one another with the protocols we have in place at the moment.
Presenting the officials for this game.
Here are the officials
Mohammed Al Salam from Bahrain.
For today's game, Mohammed Hassan Al Salam of Wichapin from Thailand and Haryanto Sutario from Indonesia.
Kawashima from Japan. And game director Hector Villanueva from the Philippines.
Strong officiating crew for us here today in this important game between these two teams. As India look to fight their way to the World Cup, that would be an unbelievable achievement as they're at the very early stages of developing an elite basketball culture within India. They're getting there, as one of the pioneers, Brigovanshi. He's had some big moments in the national team jersey, that's for sure, and I'm sure he'll have many more. Here's the starting five for India. Sekon Hafiz, Brigovanshi, Rawat and Aryan. Some youth as well as some experience within that five. Rawat just 21 years old, Brigovanshi, the veteran at 30 years. Plenty of talent coming off the bench as well for Coach Matic. What a coach, plenty of experience he's got as well. A 34-year coaching career so far. This is his third role as head coach of a national team, previously head coach of Iran and Lebanon. And using every ounce of that experience to try and move India into the upper echelon of Asian basketball. That's certainly moving in the right direction under his guidance as head coach of the men's team. Now just under 2.5 minutes away from the tip-off, and the Philippine players will be locking in on this one. As I say, they'll want to quickly forget the performance against New Zealand earlier in this qualification window. They really were just mauled on the road. Here's the starting five: Abando, Ravana, Chu, Ramos and Tamayo. Tamayo had a big game, to be fair, against New Zealand, 16.5 rebounds for him. And Abando stepped up late on to get to double digits with 11 points as well. But for the Philippines, as they've already secured progression and their spot at the World Cup next year, as it will take place here in the Philippines, it's a different process, trying to work out rotations and offensive structures, and they've certainly had a little bit of a turbulent time off court. And Coach Vucinic will be taking over just for this qualification window. The experienced Serbian, bringing in 26 years of coaching experience to try and help guide and shape the Philippines just for these two games. He's had a month leading that role. It's interesting to see how he's had an impact on that so far. Let's listen to his huddle, hear what he has to say.
We are high on the picks, okay? They're not gonna, the big guy is not gonna run fast, okay? 4 men is not a shooter. We back it in, okay? All right, got it? Let's go.
We can use the foul. I hit it.
Number 18, Gio Chu.
Two Serbian coaches going head-to-head today.
Ramos. And number 33, Carl Tamayo.
Interesting to see who will come out on top of that chess match between Coach Matic and Coach Vucinic as the players come to the floor. Moments away from the starting tip. Just a reminder, if you want to keep on top of this World Cup qualification, your best bet is to download the FIBA World Cup app, available on iOS and Android, completely free of charge, and it gives you absolutely tons of content. So make sure you get your devices out now and get that one downloaded. And we're underway here in Manila for this World Cup qualifier between the Philippines and India. Tamayo no good. Rebound thrown out of bounds there by Aryan. Bit of a jittery start for him. Baseline ball to be inbounded by Ravana. He's going to catch and shoot at the top, wide open. Doesn't get the score though. Alian does pull down the rebound this time. Standing 2 meters 18. Alian is by far and away the biggest player on either roster. Traveling violation, going to get called on Rawat. Rawat to inbound the ball. And a couple of early mistakes for India so far. And this is part of the process, becoming more consistent. And that's going to be a backcourt violation for the Philippines. Neither team starting confidently. The Philippines are by far and away favourites for this game. There's no two ways about that, even after their loss. Last time these two teams met was earlier in these qualifiers. Philippines coming out 88-64 winners. Shot goes up from distance, no good. Rebound falls into the hands of Tamayo. And the crowd will get behind their team. Good offensive rebound there for Sean Chu. And it's the put back in as well. That's the first score of the game. Rejected, great follow by Abando. Slaps that one off the glass. Ramos now pulls up, long two, no good. Alian rips down the rebound. Stolen away again though. Another big play, this time by Ravina. Guvanchi, he comes up short. Alian scoops up the offensive rebound, and for the Philippines, that one might be one of their biggest challenges. They're going to have to box out Alian. They can't let him grab offensive rebounds like that. Abando misses the shot. Philippines hold a 2-point lead. A little over 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. Nice pass inside. Briguvanchi ties the game up 4 apiece. Briguvanchi averaging 9 points, 3.7 rebounds and 4 assists a game in the qualifiers so far. Played in all 3 qualifiers for India. Chu off target, rebound pulled down by Rawat. Briguvanchi goes to Sekon in the corner. Plenty of young players on show for India today. Sekon just 20 years of age. Inside to Alian. Alian just 19 years of age. Part of the NBA Academy in India, Alian. Score no good for Sean Chu as Alian looks to rim protect on that one. Relatively slow start to the game offensively for both teams. Getting looks, just not getting the finishes right as yet. Hafiz, no good. Rebound pulled down by Tamayo. He's going to go coast to coast, draw the foul. First foul of the game. Tamayo will head to the free throw line. Had a great game. One of the only Philippines players that could say that against New Zealand. Played just under 19 minutes, scored 16 points, grabbed 5 rebounds. Shot the ball well as well throughout. Didn't miss a free throw, shot 50% from outside. Just 21 years of age as coach Vucinic looks over. Doesn't get the score though. And the ball spills back out to Avina and nothing there. He draws the foul. Sorry, Ramos. He draws the foul, will head to the line. Nice no-look pass. Ariane whistled for the foul. Ramos heads to the line for the free throws. And one of the leading lights for the Philippines throughout these qualifiers, Ramos, averaging 14 points and nearly 8 rebounds a game. Connects with the second after missing the first. Philippines now with that slender 1-point lead. Rawat goes back door to Sekon. It's intercepted, but India will hold on to possession. Brigavanchi waits for the Allianz screen, drives inside. Glass opens up to him. You almost stake your house on that one for Brigavanchi, but he doesn't get it to go. Shot is up, no good. Bando. Baseline ball though for the Philippines now. Neither team getting it done offensively right now. Very low scoring start to this game. Philippines are averaging nearly 70 points a game. India, to be fair, are only averaging 57. And the big issue for both of these teams has been on the defensive end. India conceding 95 points a game. As we see another miss, this time from Sean Chu, while the Philippines are conceding 86 points a game. Hafiz in and out with the three. Chu pulls down the rebound. So really for both these teams, it's at the defensive end that work needs doing. Bando. That will remain Philippines ball on the baseline. Comes off the foot, I think, of Hafiz. Tamayo, air ball this time. Neither team really showing us anywhere near the potential that they have, or the quality that they have at the moment. Remember, alongside these World Cup qualifiers, these teams will have half an eye looking forward as the Asia Cup tips off in a little over a week's time in Jakarta. Both teams will want to perform well there. Out at the races, Bando gets the score. Philippines lead up to 3 points now as we cross over the halfway stage of this first quarter. Sekon. Ariane loses it. Nice pass to Ramos for the score. And Philippines are just about starting to find some rhythm. And again, it's building from the defensive end. As I was saying, this is where they need to work. This is what will provide the foundations for not just a run at the World Cup, but a run at Asia Cup. Oh, big three, though. Hafiz drops the three. He's not been shooting well in the qualifiers so far, just 11% from distance. Gets that one to drop, though, and brings India back to within 2. Chu going to draw the foul from Ariane. That's his second foul of the game. Third team foul of the quarter for India. That's the steal. It's good hands by Ravina, who gets the loose ball to Ramos for the score. We're going to see a change for India, as Aliam will head to the bench with 2 fouls. Gotti comes in. This is both his free throws, but that one's put back in. Looks like it may have even come off the hands of Rawat. But I think they might credit that to Ravina instead. Breguvanci trying to create some space. What a good handle. Vishesh Breguvanci goes inside to Gotti, gets the score. Uses his size advantage well. There's about a 7-centimeter advantage over Sean Chu. Three-point lead for the Philippines. A little over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Sean Chu can't get it to go this time. Foul's going to be called. And Sekon started the transition. Ravenna will head to the bench. Into the game comes Navarro and Abrientos. Navarro had a relatively big impact in the game against New Zealand. Not maybe statistically, but certainly played his part. Breguvanci, no good. Abrientos with the rebound. Belangel to Chu. Abrientos nails the three. Comes straight in off the bench. Makes the impact, doubling Philippines' lead out to 6. Hafiz hands it off. Pass inside to Gotti. Foul's going to get called on Ramos. Gotti will head to the line. Here's Abrientos, uses the screen from Chu well. Gets the shot away. Gotti now at the line for the bonus. Misses the first of his two. First game within the qualifiers for Vivek Gotti. In fact, half the roster for India haven't featured in any of the first 3 games. The other half are featured in all of them. Philippines make another change as Kwon Bao comes in for Chu. Abrientos controlling things for the Philippines right now as they lead by 5. That one's knocked away though. Gotti picks up the loose ball. Gotti looking to go to work in the low post. Draws the foul off Kwon Bao. 21-year-old not quite up to speed with the game as he comes off the bench. Had 4 points against New Zealand earlier in the qualification window. That was his first game in the qualifiers. For the Philippines, all but 2 of their players had their first game against New Zealand. Breguvanci puts it into Gotti. Pass is mishandled though. Abrientos, nice ball movement from the Philippines. Beautiful ball movement in the end. Kwon Bao gets the score. Philippines lead up to 7. A little under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Philippines offense is starting to warm up now. That's a poor pass from Sekon. Abrientos out at the races. Too busy showboating and misses the easy layup. Fortunately for him, Ramos is there to intercept the transition. Hail Mary from India. Kwon Bao misses this time. Into the low post to Gotti. Goes to work, comes up short. Rebound pulled down by Ramos again. Second rebound of the game, and there's the score. Ramos doing it all right now, as he has been throughout the qualifiers. Just 23 years of age, but feels like he's a veteran within the team. Breguvanci comes up short again. Belangel Into the corner, Abarientos, too heavy. Ramos, wide open three, no good. India do secure the rebound this time though. Almost stolen away by Ramos again. It is stolen away this time. Abarientos to Ramos. Easy 2 points out of the races for that one. India's lead now out to 11 in what has turned out to be a commanding first quarter performance as India look to squander their possessions. Coach Matic isn't happy. And his team, I'm sure, are going to hear it now in the quarter break. The end of the first quarter, Philippines in full control in this one. 21 to the Philippines, India 10. See if we can listen in to the huddles for both coaches, see what they've got to say to their teams. Well, it looks like we're going to head out. Here are the shooting statistics. Philippines doing a good job with the exception of 3 points. India struggling across the board right now, not getting the job done, and really struggling to get any possessions at all. Here are the highlights of that first quarter of action. Majority of them from the Philippines, as we see Ravenna just getting the job done day in, day out for his team. For India, they started relatively brightly, but the Philippines quickly accelerated away from them. And at the end of the first quarter, the Philippines have an 11-point lead, 7 points for Ramos already. They already have 6 players that have registered on the scorebook. As for India, no player scored more than 1 basket. Gotti with 3, Hafiz with 3. As Philippines will make a couple of changes coming back out for this second quarter. And that's the luxury that Coach Vucinic has now with an 11-point lead already. Second quarter action underway here in Manila. World Cup qualifier between the Philippines and India. At the end of the first quarter, the Philippines lead this one by 11. Brigavanchi brings it back the other way. Nice pass inside, and Rawat will get the easy score. Quambao inside, Abarientos gets the score. Foul's going to be called on Abarientos. Just a little bit of over-exuberance, chasing over that screen. Pass inside from Prince to Rawat. He's good. Rana Prince, another one of those players in the Indian team as part of the NBA Academy. They look to build an elite structure in India. Navarro is in the game for the Philippines. Abarientos, pass over his head to Quambao. Doesn't get the score, draw the foul though. Will head to the free throw line. Gotti called for the foul. The first is good for Quambao. That's his 4th point of the game. And his 5th. Three of those points coming from the free throw line. Philippines lead at 11. A little under 9 minutes still to play here in Manila in the second quarter. Almost stolen away. Prince dribbles it off his foot though. So the Philippines will come away with possession. And an easy score, and the Philippines are playing some lovely team basketball right now. Moving the ball, sharing the ball well. Quambao with the assist. Navarro with the score. Stolen away as Abarientos comes round the back of Gotti. Quambao moves it off to Lopez, swatted away though by Gotti. Loose ball picked up by Krishnan. Beguvanchi has to slow it down though. Prince slides in. That's an easy score. Blows the final line. Beguvanchi 3-on-2 break. 2 points there for Krishnan. Timeout is going to be called here as India trail by 11, but it's Coach Vucinic that wants to talk things over with his team. We're going to see if we can jump into his huddle, hear what he has to say.
Play two-man game with him. Give him a ball, dribble back to the Vishesh, coming, roll, some from other side, bring and then pick and roll. Play like this. 2. If you say 2, dribbling till him. Don't know to cut. You have all time what to cut often. Don't cut often. When it's a 2, coming and then speed, come, and then after that, looking what we can do.
Coach Matic looking for his team to focus in on the two-man game. Let's hear what Coach Vucinic has to say. Just catching the tail end there of the Philippines timeout. But yeah, Coach Matic wanting his team to focus in on a bit of a two-man game on the offensive end. Focusing in particularly on the handle, when to dribble the ball, where to dribble the ball. Game restarts with Philippines inbounding on the baseline. They lead by 11. 7.5 minutes left in the first half. Belangel calling the play, running a horn structure at the top. Goes inside. Quambao rattles around the iron and away. Marvin Krishnan now hands it off to Beguvanchi. Abarientos for 3. Off right, rebound pulled down though by Navarro. His second rebound of the game. Goes inside. India are doing a better job of defending their paint. Out in transition, swatted away and saved. Wonderful play from Lopez. Abarientos with a floater, no good. He is struggling today, 2 from 6 from the field so far for CJ Abarientos. Rawat inside, draws the foul off Lopez. Lopez did have a good game against New Zealand, picked up 8 points in just under 9 minutes. There's the rejection from him. That's what he brings to this Philippines team. Wingspan, athleticism, and hustle. Ramos will come back in. Lopez will go out. Hafiz comes in for India. Rara at the line for free throws. In fact, Lopez has come back in. It's Abarientos who has gone out. And Hafiz came in for Beguvanchi for India. The first is good for Rawat from the free throw line. shooting 60% from the free throw line prior to today's game. Hits both and reduces the Philippines lead down to single digits. Philippines 27, India 18. A little over 6 minutes to play in the second quarter. Lopez fakes a three. Good ball movement to Ramos. To Lopez. My goodness, that is some beautiful basketball from the Philippines. Moving the ball around to the weak side, swinging it all the way through for it to end up back where it started. This time in the hands of Lopez, who's wide open for the layup. Hafiz pulls up, long two, gets the roll. Belangel looking for options as India sit in some form of zone, but that's easily broken with good shooting. This time Navarro steps up and hits the three. Good move inside. Arvind Krishnan creating pretty much everything for himself there and getting the score. Ramos. Basketball gods looking down kindly on him as that one rolls in off the support at the back of the ring. Knocked away by Kwambao. Krishnan couldn't get the score on that one. Kwambao will head to the bench though. He picks up another block. Krishnan just being a little bit slow to get the second shot away. Here's the score from Ramos on the previous play. That took him to double digits. First player to be in double digits. 11 points for Dwight Ramos. Picks up a steal as well to add to the box score. Into the corner. That one's short. Rebound by Chu. And an awful pass by Sean Chu. Baseline ball at the other end for India to work with. In fact, Coach Matic just called a timeout. He wants to talk things over. 4 minutes 10 remaining in the first half. It's Philippines 34, India 22. Jump into this Indian huddle.
Seho here. Screen for a 4. 5-man screen for a Moin. You will bring a ball. You will bring a ball. Special, and then you will come back. Yeah. This one coming here. Screen back, that is here. This one going corner. 5-man is a safety. Receive the ball and give it back. Play defense, run fast break.
Dwight and Carl go and double, okay? Keeper, take the pass. SJ, be high so they cannot skip this. Okay, give him the long ball.
Coach Matic zeroing in on the offensive end for India, trying to spark a little bit more production, a little bit more creativity for them. India will take possession on the baseline after that misplaced pass from Chu on the previous possession for the Philippines. Stolen away, straight away. Ramos tried to take too much contact. Rather than focusing in on finishing the play, I think a little pump fake might have been better suited. Krishnan almost stolen away, but that's going to be the 8-second violation anyway, as we see a lot of heart and soul being put on the floor right now by the Philippines. Ravenna just doing everything he can. Dives to the floor again. Kiefer Ravenna. Tamayo skips his way through. Gotti with the rejection. Second now, feeds it to Gotti. That comes back out. Rawat gets the shot away, draws contact. He was the player that was on the floor moments earlier in that play. Got back to his feet, but doesn't look overly comfortable. But he will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Okay, it's the first to drop, Prashant Rawat. Takes his personal tally to 5 now, alongside 5 rebounds. Certainly doing all he can to help his team. Almost got his own offensive rebound and put back then. Chu hands it off to Tamayo. Tamayo for 3. Oh, banked it off the glass. I'm not sure that was the plan. But the bank is open on a Sunday here in Manila. Second drives inside, doesn't get the score. Chu will come away with it for the Philippines. 14-point lead for the Philippines now. Chu puts the shot up. Foul's going to be called, I think, on Tamayo. Coming over the back of Rawat. Here's the less than pretty 3 from Tamayo. Off the glass and in. And the coy smile from the 21-year-old. It's his first score of the game. At this stage, you take any way you can. He now gets the steal, or does he? He does in the end. Gets it inside. Balangel will slow things down, though, and come back out. Smart play by Sam Joseph Belangel. Hafiz going to draw the foul from Ravana. And there's the play from Belangel. Just good control and composure as he gets into the paint. Philippines are in the penalty. So that will send Hafiz to the line for free throws. Doesn't look confident at the line though. Misses the first of his 2. Shooting 50% across the first 3 qualifiers. Moenbek Hafiz. Gets the second to go, so he keeps his 50% record going. As we see Abando come back into the action for the Philippines. Out of the game comes Keitha Ravanat. Malangel will slow things down as we're into the final 2 minutes. India still sitting in their 2-3 zone. Into the hands of Abando. A little short range 2, no good, but the follow is good from Chu this time. 5 points for him alongside 9 rebounds now. Krishnan picks up his dribble, hands it off to Hafiz. Hafiz comes up short. Tamayo gets the rebound for the Philippines. 4th rebound of the game for Tamayo. Abando comes up way too short with that attempt. Almost looked maybe a little too easy for him, and ball thrown away by Belangel. So it'll be a turnover and India will take possession. Under a minute to play now in this first half. Philippines 41, India 24. As expected, Philippines in full control of this game. Gotti hands it off to Sekon. Sekon tries to find a lane, but there's nothing there. It's stolen away. Ramos gets the score. 13 points for Dwight Ramos, 6 from 11 from the field in this first half. Doing a great job, Dwight Ramos. Always seems to whenever he puts the jersey on for the Philippines. Gives it everything, stolen away. Tamayo gets the score, draws the contact. It's a tough play from the 21-year-old. Shot clock off as India will look to take the final shot of the half. Gotti tries to save it, but can only throw it to the Philippines. Ramos. And that will be the end of the first half here in Manila. And it's going the way the form book would have suggested. The Philippines in complete control of this one at the moment. India struggling to get a foothold in the game. At half-time, it's the Philippines 45, India 24. Impressive first half of basketball for the Philippines, getting the job done, putting 45 points on the board. Plenty of credit has to go to Dwight Ramos as we look at some of the shooting statistics. Philippines doing a pretty good job with the exception of three-point shooting. India just struggling to get the opportunities and being dominated on the boards by the Philippines, out-rebounded 28-20. One concern for the Philippines there, though, is the turnovers. 13 turnovers in that first half. Top scorer, Dwight Ramos, he has 13 points alongside 2 rebounds and 4 steals. Also doing a job for the Philippines is Sean Chu. He has 5 points and 9 rebounds at the half. As for India, Hafiz is leading their scoring. He has 6 points. Just behind him, Rawat with 5 points, 6 rebounds. Here are some of the highlight plays from that first 20 minutes of action. Philippines started relatively slowly to the game. Didn't look their usual confident, buoyant selves, but they quickly found that one and got the game going. They outscored India 21-10 in the first quarter and then 24-14 in the second quarter. That's what gives them an impressive 21-point lead at the halfway stage. And remember, all 3 of these teams have already secured progression in the second round, but this game is important. It is very important, in particular for India, because all of the results carry through to the second qualification round. As it stands, India are going to move forward to the second qualification round. At the moment, they're 0-3. If this game plays out the way it has so far, they'll be 0-4, whilst the Philippines will move forward with a 2-2 record. See Brigavanchi hand it off to Krishnan for the 2. And it's been a tough first 20 minutes for India. Plenty of work for coach Matic to do in the locker room in the halftime break, as the Philippines have really been putting on a show for the fans in the arena here in Manila. And it's for India to change the flow of the game. Change the direction of play, really. The Philippines are getting whatever they want at the moment offensively, and India are still struggling to find some rhythm at the other end of the floor. Still 20 minutes ahead of us here in Manila. It'll take a big effort from India, but it's not an impossibility that they can fight their way back into this game. The halftime score here is Philippines 45, India 24. We'll be back with all the second half action shortly.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
The three is thrown from miles out. Oh, it's a three just a second ago from Lun.
Tucker pulls up for the three and hits and one.
Xiao Chi Wei, no look pass, far side, Sun Ming Hui for three, misses Zhou Qi, offensive rebound, and the stick back with authority.
Chisholm looking for support. Good movement. Chisholm will slam. Oh! What an offensive possession that was.
Blanchard will drive the baseline. Oh, just a little too congested, but Blanchard works hard to get it back. Dellavedova, no good with the three. Oh, that is a monster putback by Jackson White.
2.5 to go. Another beautiful turnover, and Zhou Qi goes all the way and throws it down with two hands. And China have completely taken control of this game.
Oh, rejected by Maker. They're going to go at him again. And again, back-to-back blocks by Thon Maker, not in his house.
Quick hands, and here he is, Yusuf Hayat. Down the middle with the flush, two hands. Welcome to the game, young man. Welcome to the senior stage.
Well, here we go now, transition. Oh my goodness gracious! And he flexes the guns. Well, I just saw Caddy fly in the sky.
Nartai going again. Oh my goodness me! Nartai with back-to-back jams, and he likes it as much as we do. Welcome back to Manila in the Philippines for this World Cup qualifier between the Philippines and India. We're at the halfway stage, and it has been all one-way traffic so far. Philippines leading this one 45-24. Trying to hold back the tide at the moment is Hafiz. He is the leading scorer for India in that first half. He has 6 points to his name. 1 rebound, 1 assist as well. But it is a big ask against what looks like a very confident, buoyant Philippines team, bouncing back after a tough defeat against New Zealand. Hafiz is doing what he can. Just behind him is Rawat as well with 5 points. He has 6 rebounds as well. As for the Philippines, they have 1 leading scorer, that's for sure. Dwight Ramos, he has 13 points alongside 2 rebounds. And will show his defensive intensity, 4 steals as well. At the moment, the Philippines have 10 players listed for today's game, and they have 10 players on the score sheet already. Every single player seeing time on the floor. At least 5 minutes per player in that first half, and Coach Vucinic will be happy with what he's seen so far. Expectation before the game was that the Philippines would be favourites for this one, should come away with the win to close out their first qualification round games. But having someone tell you that you're favourite and going out and getting it done are 2 different things, that's for sure. Under 5 minutes away now from the start of the second half here in Manila. As both these teams look to build towards the World Cup next year. Obviously for the Philippines, they've already qualified. They're one of the host nations, so they've got their spot booked. This is part of their preparation process, the qualifiers. And it's not gone completely to plan. I don't think they'd kid anyone. 2 big losses to New Zealand certainly dents the pride and the ambitions for the Philippines. They lost 101-46, and then they lost they lost 88-63, and then they lost 60-106 in the 2 games against New Zealand. However, they won 88-64 against India in the first matchup, and then they need by 21 at the halfway stage here. As for India, all of these games absolutely matter. There's no guarantees of them being at the World Cup. They would have been considered outsiders for the World Cup prior to these qualifiers, but they have gradually, slowly but surely grown into these games. They lost 64-88 in the return of this fixture, so they'd love just to get closer maybe than that in today's game. There are your statistical leaders for the Philippines. Ramos with 13 points, Chu with 9 rebounds, and Ravana with 4 assists. Ramos just seems like he's been there forever. He's only 23 years of age, averaging just about 14 points and 8 rebounds a game across the qualifiers so far. Chu also doing a good job here today as well. Even younger than Ramos, 21 years of age. Plenty of young talent on show here. Oldest player is Kiefer Ravana at 28 years old. Ramos leading his team. They look relaxed coming out to shoot in preparation for the second half. No pressure on them really here at the moment, unless India can make some changes, switch things up in the second half. Philippines are in cruise control at the moment. Here are the statistical leaders for India. Hafiz leading them with 6 points. Rawat leading them with 6 rebounds. And Sekon has 2 assists to his name. What can India do in the second half, though? They really are going to have to change up a few gears if they're going to come away with the unlikely win here today. If they don't, then they'll be progressing to the second qualification round without a win to their name. In that second qualification round, they'll be facing Jordan, Lebanon, and Saudi Arabia, who are fighting it out in Group C. So 3 games, well, 6 games, 3 home, 3 away in the second round. None of those overly easy for India. Biguvanchi, the most familiar face probably in Indian basketball, 30 years of age now, so chances for him to make it to a World Cup starting to run out. Maybe 2 more chances at the most, including next year's. And his team are going to have to put in a big shift, not just in the second half here, but also in the second qualifying round if they're to book one of those berths from the Asia zone. Both teams getting in the warm-ups before the second half. As we look at Hafiz, 2 from 6 from the field, 6 points in total. Coach Matic looking to get some final instructions to his team before they come back on the floor for the second half. It'll need to be a big second half if they're to make the necessary difference. Just a quick reminder, if you've got your phone on you, scan the QR code. It'll take you where you need to be to download the World Cup Qualifiers app. A real good companion to have alongside you throughout these games.
Watch this option first.
Take the middle.
Hey, Timothy, 1, 2, 3.
Moments away from the start of the second half here in this World Cup qualifier. Second half action underway. World Cup qualifier between the Philippines and India at the halfway stage. Philippines lead this one 45-24. A very impressive performance from the Philippines in the first half. Abando, no good with the first shot, but a big rebound by Chu and a great pass. The finish from Keitha Ravenna. Extends the Philippines lead out a little further. Ariane now back into the action after picking up 2 early fouls in the first half. That will remain India basketball. There's the pass from Chu. The finish from Ravenna. Shot goes up, Hafiz. Rebound pulled down by Ramos. Drives inside, draws the contact, earns himself a trip to the free throw line. All right, Ramos getting it done. Sekon called for the foul. First team foul of the half for India. First personal foul for Sekon. Ramos comes up short. 71% prior to today's game from the free throw line, Dwight Ramos. Gets the second to go though. Philippines now lead by 24. 1 minute of the second half gone. Briguvanci. Ariane. Hands it back to Briguvanci. Steps back, long 2, a little bit flat from the veteran. Tamayo pulls down the long rebound for the Philippines. Ravenna hands it off to Chu, gets it back. Patience here from the Philippines, shot clock at 8. Tamayo loses the handle, but Philippines will hold on to possession with 5.1 seconds on the shot clock. Abando, a little flat, tips the front of the iron and flies away. Rawat loses control. A little bit frenetic from Prashant Rawat. Briguvanci drops the short range 2. That's his second bucket of the game. 2 from 7 from the field. Usually a high efficiency type player, but not this time. Gets in the passing lane and knocks it away. Inside, Tamayo. No good. Chu with the offensive rebound again for the Philippines. They're really crashing those boards hard. 14 offensive rebounds so far in the game. Ravenna steps in, drains the mid-range 2. Philippines lead back out to 24. 7.5 minutes still to play here in the third quarter. Sekon Hafiz for three. Nails the three. That's a big shot for India. Hopefully we'll settle some second half nerves and get them motoring. Philippines lead trimmed down to 21. Ravana. Ramos steps into the three. Looked like he had good rhythm on that one. Ooh, Taimo. Taimo with the quick spin. Quick feet for the youngster. Guvanci now. Going up against Ramos. Puts up the tough shot. Rebound by Hafiz. Inside, nice pass. Rawat with the fake. Gets the Philippines defense in the air and gets the score. Stolen away. Rawat this time with the big play. And India starting to find some form on the offensive end, starting to get some momentum. They're back within 17 of the Philippines now. Coach Vucinic not happy, wants to talk things over. There's the pass inside, there's the fake from Rawat to get the score. Here's the next play, little jab step from Sekon, skips his way through the lane for the score. India looking much better in the last few phases of play. Let's listen to this Philippines huddle.
On the pick and roll. And especially if you're pushing him to the left, keep him to his left. Don't let him, with the snake go back to his right. Now, if it's a zone, okay, we got that shot, okay, that's fine, okay? We need to get rebounds. Now, the next time, they're gonna get there. We're gonna have a short baseline, and we're gonna have a 3-man, okay? Go in there, okay? You understand? On 3 down.
Guys, yung reversal natin sa transition. Man or zone yun, pwede yun, man or zone.
Hey, run spin, okay? Let's go. Spin.
3 on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Cool, calm and collected from Coach Vucinic. Making some minor alterations just to get the team back on track to where they were. So India certainly in the ascendancy right now. They're back to within 17. And showing glimmers of the potential that they have as a team. Just about putting it together. Tamayo with the handle, goes inside, gets the fake and gets the score. Beautiful handles to create what he needed. Rawat now. Sekon drives in off the glass, draws the foul. If he'd gone to his right hand, he'd have probably got the score as well. There's the behind the back from Tamayo, leaving Briguvanci in his wake. Gets the score. Wonderful camera angle for that one. Sekon misses the first of his two. One of the youngsters, just 20 years of age, averaging just shy of 10 points a game within the qualifiers, Sekon. India continue to sit in their 2-3 zone. Coach Vucinic suggesting there's plenty of shots out there for them to get. And that's pretty much the easiest one for them to get as Ravana nails the corner 3. But it was the move from Ramos, that little half drive, sucked the defense in, creating the space for Ravana to get the shot away easily. So Guvanci hands it off to Hafiz. Steps in, 2 off the glass. Old school jumper from Briguvanci. Back-to-back triples for Keitha Ravina. Philippines lead, just like that, back out to 22. And Tamayo flies through for the defensive board. Rebound pulled down by Alian. Second. Foul's going to be called as Second's slapped across the arms. Here's the jumper from Briguvanci. Off the glass for 2. There's the triple. The basketball gods were shining down on Ravana for that 3. Baseline ball for India. Smart play, they get the roll. Nice inbound pass, and the finish is just about there for the 2. 4 minutes to play now in the 3rd quarter. Ramos looks to pass it, but it's read well by Hafiz. He's got the one-on-one, but he's going to step back for the 3. Off target, knocked out of bounds by Second, so it'll be Philippines ball on the baseline. Drives inside, skips it out, and the shot is good. Ramos with the corner. And the Philippines again just slip back into autopilot. Second for 3. Oh, he quickly answers though. Second drains that corner 3, his 2nd bucket of the game. Pass inside, Tamayo. And it was a quick release that created that one for Carl Tamayo. Tamayo almost steals it away, but can only knock it out of bounds out of the hands of Tumar. Ariane heads to the bench as Krishnan comes back in. Also out is Hafiz, and Gotti comes in. That one comes up short. Rebound falls into the hands of Belangel, and he's got the handle for sure. India still in that zone defense. Pays dividends this time. Gotti with the rebound. Krishnan will slow it down. Waits for the screen. Tumar. Stolen away. Belangel with the quick hands. Sorry, Ravina with the quick hands. Inside for Ramos. It's the score. Ramos, no wonder he's got a big smile on his face. He's up to 19 points now. That is his best performance in these qualifiers. Previous best 18 against New Zealand. Krishnan backs it out. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Belangel to the floor after colliding with Gotti. Shot clock violation though. 24-point lead now for the Philippines. Tumar has it stolen away by Ravana. Hands it off to Ramos. It's the easy score. Ravana with the assist. Lopez for 3. Ramos with the rebound. He's looking for his double-double, just his 4th rebound of the game though, so he's gonna have to work on that one. Step back 3, Belangel, no good. Gotti pulls down the 3rd rebound of the game. Briguvanci. Nice pass inside. Gotti draws the foul from Tamayo. Gotti will head to the free throw line. Gotti hits the first on the free throw line. That was Tamayo's third foul. Doesn't get the second to go though. Tamayo brings down the rebound. Only the 13th foul of the quarter for the Philippines though. It's been a relatively low fouling quarter as we enter the final minute of action of this third quarter. Tamayo swatted away by Gotti. Can only swat it out of bounds though. So it will remain Philippines ball. Gotti follows it well. And that's the one thing India have with Gotti and Arian. They have real rim protection. They just need to build from that foundation. Ramos three, in and out. That one knocked out of bounds by Navarro. Will be India ball. .23-point lead now for the Philippines. Done a great job so far. Tumar hands it off to Briguvanci. He doesn't want the ball that far away from the basket. Needs his touches closer to the basket. Nayak hands it off. And a little bit of fortune falling for Krishnan. He puts it back in for the two. Shot clock off now here in the third quarter. Malangel running the clock down. Ramos. Malangel just drives straight down the middle of the zone, kicks it to Navarro. No good. Gotti, they get it away in time. But the shot is way off track. And that will be the end of the third quarter here in Manila. Philippines fully in control of this one as they look to close out the first qualification round in style. At the end of the third quarter, it's Philippines 65, India 44.
Motion, that is what you did is a good way. Motion, that is, we are move the ball, this one cut, and then immediately this side. Or three, we can play three sides for a visit.
Here are some of the best plays from that third quarter of action. And India certainly looked better within that quarter, their highest scoring quarter by a long way. They put 20 points on the board. In fact, they tied the quarter with the Philippines, who also had 20 points as well. Part of it is clearly due to the Philippines taking their foot off the gas a little bit, but India also finding their feet and gaining some confidence. Muembek Hafiz has also moved on to double digits, 11 points, alongside 2 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal for him. Briguvanci has 6, Krishnan has 6, and Rawat has 7. For the Philippines, Ramos leading the way, 19 points for him, 4 rebounds, 2 assists and 4 steals. The only other player in double digits is Keitha Ravana. Here are your shooting percentages. Both teams shooting relatively similar percentages, but the numbers are slightly different as India just have not had as many possessions as the Philippines has, driven by their offensive rebounding, really. 18 offensive rebounds in the game for the Philippines. That really has been one of the make or break statistics to draw from the box score so far. Fourth quarter action underway here in the Philippines. World Cup qualifier between the Philippines and India. 10 minutes to play. It's Philippines 65, India 44. Philippines have been in the driving seat for nearly the entire game. India did have a far better third quarter though, putting on 20 points. Start of the fourth is poor. Nice outlet pass though. Oh, and the attempted flush on Gotti. That one is sprung away. India come back the other way. Briguvanci draws the foul. Foul's going to be called on Kwan Bao. Briguvanci will head to the free throw line for shots. Almost a poster on Gotti here as Navarro goes up. Springs the dunk though. Briguvanci gets the first of his two to drop. Philippines lead dragged back to 20. Connects with the second as well. India now dropping into what I would say is a 1-3-1 zone press into a 2-3 zone. Just trying to maybe slow the Philippines down somewhat. Does leave open perimeter shooting though. Nice drive inside, beautiful play. That deserved the points just for the handle, but Belangel off target. Inside to Gotti. Back to Briguvanci. Krishnan. Going to get called for the travelling violation. Another turnover for India. They've not had a huge number of turnovers. They've just given up a ton of offensive rebounds to the Philippines. Abarientos, no good. Where's the rebound end up? Just about with India. Sekon comes away with it. Back out now to Nayak, to Krishnan. Krishnan can't get it to go, and Quan Bao comes away with it. Abarientos throws the near impossible lob pass for Lopez to hold on to. Quan Bao can't take it, doesn't even chase it down. Sekon will put it down with two hands. Lazy defense there from the Philippines. You could almost feel the rage permeating off Coach Vucinic there in the background. Not happy with the lack of hustle to get back on that one. Belangel in and out with the three. Another offensive rebound, and this time the foul for Krishnan. Lopez getting a little bit silly with it. Completely unnecessary. That's the drop from Quan Bao, and look at his reaction. Doesn't even try and chase it back, and Sekon gets two easy points on the dunk. Lopez gets the first free throw to drop. And the second rattles home for Lopez. Takes his tally out to 4 points alongside 3 rebounds now. And the Philippines continue to rotate through their roster pretty easily. Everyone getting minutes on the floor. Half an eye, I imagine, on Asia Cup in a little over a week's time. Shot goes up. No good. Where's the rebound falling? It's just about saved by Krishnan. Briguvanci for 3. And turn of India to grab some offensive rebounds. Beautiful move to the bucket. Gotti's not going to get the putback. A little heavy-handed. Quan Bao is going to draw the foul from Arvind Krishnan. Oh, in fact, Sahaj Sekon called for the foul. "19 offensive rebounds for the Philippines. 19 additional possessions is the way you look at that number. It's going to be tough to beat a team when you give them so many extra opportunities. Belangel, Quan Bao gets the little soft shovel shot almost with the right hand. Tough skill, but if you can get shots like that to drop, it's good. It's a real offensive weapon if you can. Gotti. Shot clock now at 10. Sekon. Inside to Gotti. Gotti no good. Yes, it is. Big man stays with it and gets the score. 6.5 minutes to play, and India are within 19 now. Philippines still clearly in control of the game as India still rely on this 2-3 zone. Jumper no good this time from Belangel. Kicks it to the corner. Abarientos, no good. And India will come away with it out in transition. Krishnan, finger roll for 2. India, slowly but surely, plugging away at this lead, outscoring Philippines 8-4 so far in this final quarter. Over 4 minutes gone and Philippines only scoring 4 points. That's not what you'd expect. And miss again. Drive inside for Nayak. No good. Shot goes up. That one's way too heavy. Navarro struggling there. Krishnan gets the score. How long will coach Vucinic let this roll? His team's lead is down to 15. There's still over 5 minutes to play. It's an outside chance, but still a chance. Juan Bao. Shot goes up. Plenty of rattling around the iron, but Lopez grabs the rebound. Goes strong, draws the foul. That one going to be blown on Gotti. Lopez will head to the free throw line. Krishnan just glides his way past Abarientos and gets the easy score. Hafiz comes in, Briguvanchi heads to the bench. Just about 5 minutes remaining on the game clock as Lopez scores his 5th point of the game alongside 4 rebounds. Krishnan now hands it back. That one's swatted away by Lopez. Lopez follows that one and just bats it off the baseline. Gotti trying to muscle his way in. No good. Foul's going to be called on Juan Bao. Sending Gotti to the line for free throws. Gotti gets the first to drop. For a big guy, shoots the free throw shot pretty well, pretty smooth. Back at the line for another. Doesn't get the second to go though, and the rebound is pulled down by Navarro. Philippines lead at 16, 4.5 minutes to play. An impressive fight back here by India. They've not given up. It would have been easy just to surrender early. Navarro goes under the bucket and throws it down on the reverse side. Gets the crowd entertained. Certainly hasn't been a huge amount for them to cheer about here in the 4th quarter so far. Pick and roll game between Gotti and Krishnan. Krishnan off target though, as the defense is strong from the Philippines. Belangel will slow things down. Nice pass, Belangel inside, and you feel the Philippines are starting to get a little bit of second wind, a little bit of additional motivation to go out there and get this job done. Their lead now is back up to 20 again. Second. Trying to find a way past Belangel, and there isn't one. Gotti now. Gonna hand it off. Shot clock at 5. Krishnan. Nayak no good. They get the offensive rebound, so they'll reset back out and go again. Smart move, just a little hesitation on the dribble from Krishnan is enough to create the space he needs to get to the basket. Under 3 minutes to play. What a pass from Kwon Bao, but it's knocked away by India, and they'll get out in transition. Foul is called on Sam Joseph Belangel. Let's have a look. This is the little hesitation. Look how he just hesitates there and then steps through. That's the move. It brings Kwon Bao's body weight forward to try and approach him and enables him to get through. Krishnan up to 12 points as he sits down, 6 from 11 from the field. Tamayo has come in for Lopez, and it's Pranav Prince who's come in for Krishnan. Sekon pulls up, free throw line jumper is good. And India are within 16. Little over 2.5 minutes to play. It's again a massive outside chance, but Philippines certainly haven't put India to bed as of yet. Sekon will go coast to coast on that steal and get the score. And Coach Vucinic has seen enough. His team only lead by 14 now, and India are gaining confidence with every possession that passes. Coach Vucinic wants to put a stop to that as quick as he can. 2:21 to play. Philippines 75, India 61. Let's jump into these huddles.
Recognize the man to the zone, okay? And go into the. I mean, we can run the same thing. We can run the ball reversal into high pick, okay? But look for Will getting in here. Will, Kevin, you cannot stay in there. You got to go here and seal the weak side. So when Will gets the ball, he's going to drop it down to you two.
Will for now. Let's go, Timothy.
Little over 2 minutes and 20 to play. Philippines clearly in control of this one. They're up by 14, but India have just looked good in this fourth quarter. They did well in the third. They've outscored the Philippines by 7 in this quarter. That is a cause for concern for Coach Vucinic. Calls that timeout, and hopefully we'll see a correction from his team's performance in the closing stages of this game. Ramos now waiting for the screen from Kwon Bao. Loses the handle though. That's not the start you want coming out of a timeout. Sekon doesn't get the score. Rolls around the rim and away. Ramos scoops up the loose ball off that one. Fifth rebound of the game for Ramos alongside his 19 points. And there's the pass inside. As Navarro will take the score from the Kwon Bao assist. Prince stolen away almost. Gets the shot away, but was always going to be difficult after having to quickly regain possession like that. Kwon Bao backdoor pass, and Navarro just spills it out of bounds. Not had the best of games, William Navarro. Gotti looking to go to work, draws some contact, gets the shot off, but Kwon Bao playing some good defense. Entering the final minute now of the game here. 16-point lead for the Philippines. Make that 18 as Ramos moves his personal tally to 21. Another impressive performance from the 23-year-old. Really has some ability, developing into one of the best players here in Asia. 13 seconds left on the shot clock for India to work with. Hafiz to inbound the ball. Does so to Gotti. Sekon drives strong through the lane, draws the foul. That'll Be a baseline possession though, as he passed it away at the end. Shot clock will reset out to 14 seconds for them. 38.8 left on the game clock. Timeout has been called by India. Coach Matic wants to talk things over, draw something up for this possession. We'll jump into that huddle and hear what he has to say.
Quick. Moin here. Moin here. Vivek here. Prince here. Same way, but long way. That is who is here, and then who is here. Okay. Be safety. Safety here. Quick penetration or with a guard. Vivek, quick screen. Moin early go. Okay. Go. Don't wait. Screen. This one screen for him. Looking what's possible. I did nothing.
Looking for this area. So allow this one. Trap. Keeper. Okay. Drop down, Carl. Okay. Will you go up for that speed?
Final tinkering there from the coaching staff. Coach Matic drawing a play up just to get his team the extra bucket, and it's all about momentum and confidence as these teams leave first round of qualification for the World Cup, and their attention focus is on the Asia Cup. Ball back into the hands of Prince. Prince goes behind the back, looks to find Gotti. Probably would have been better off just going straight to the bucket himself. About a 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock now, as the fans show their appreciation for what the home team has done today. Put a shift in, got the win that they needed. Helps them towards preparations for their World Cup campaign, and in the short term, preparations for the Asia Cup in Jakarta in a couple of weeks. Fees gets the score, stolen away. They're going to get the shot away before the final buzzer, and rattles home the three. I think they want to see whether that went in before the buzzer sounded. If it did, there'll still be time on the clock. After Hafiz scored the layup, the ball was thrown in by Tamayo, intercepted by Nayak. Nayak gets the shot away, but I don't think it was in time, was it? Gets the score, but I think they're going to wave the bucket away. Let's see what the officials say, though. Will Nayak get what would be his first points of the game? Let's have a look. Picks it up there. The clock is running. Still holding on to it, still holding on to it. No, unfortunately for him, that one's going to get waved away, I think. Red light showing as he's still holding it. They'll run through the frames one more time as we see the coach is actually shaking hands on the halfway as he's releasing the ball. Yeah, he's still well in control of the ball when the red light shows. So that one will be waved away, and that will be the final buzzer for the game. And the final score will stand here in Manila. Still waiting to see what the officials are saying. It looked pretty clean that it didn't stand. So that's going to be the final score here in Manila. The Philippines 79, India 63. Plenty for the Philippines to enjoy. Plenty of Go Dwight banners in the stands, and no real surprise as he has certainly put on a show today. Dwight Ramos, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists and 4 steals. And that locks out and closes out the qualification first round here in Group A. Philippines moving on to a 2-win, 2-loss record. India will progress with 0 wins, 4 losses to their names through to the second round. for the Philippines, already locked in and qualified for the World Cup as hosts, so the pressure is slightly different to them. But preparation is key. Been slightly turbulent in recent weeks from a coaching perspective. But this win here maybe will settle some nerves as their attention and India's attention will now move towards the Asia Cup, which tips off in a little over a week in Jakarta, Indonesia. Here's your shooting percentages for today's game. Neither team shooting well from outside, and pretty actually similar percentages, but when you look at the number of shots, Philippines just flat out have more possessions because of them winning the rebounding battle, in particular the 21 offensive rebounds that they picked up. Ramos leads all scorers with 21 points. Hafiz leads the way for India with 13 as Philippines take the win here in Manila. Here are the big plays from the second half of action as India really fought their way back into this one, including leading and winning the final quarter 19-14 against the Philippines. But it was too little too late. After a strong first half performance from the Philippines, India left themselves too much of a mountain to climb in the second half to come away with the win, and Philippines really put themselves on cruise control. Maybe a little bit too early for Coach Vucenic's liking, but they still come away with the 16-point win. As I say, both of these teams now will not just look towards the World Cup qualification second qualifying round, within which they will face Jordan, Lebanon and Saudi Arabia, but in the nearer distance is Asia Cup. And for these teams, their eyes will turn towards that now. The Philippines are in Group D. They'll take on India, Lebanon and New Zealand. So a replay of the game we've had here tonight will take place very shortly in Indonesia. For India, they'll open their Asia Cup campaign on Wednesday the 13th of July against New Zealand, while the Philippines will take on Lebanon later that day. But back to today's action. Big performances across the board for the Philippines. Every player getting on the scorebook, every player getting at least double-digit minutes on the floor. But it was Dwight Ramos who led the way. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals. Also in double digits, Keitha Ravena, 12 points and 4 assists. And Navarro had 11 points, 4 rebounds and 2 steals. For India, just 3 players in double digits. Muambek Hafiz with 13 points. And Sekon also had 12 points, as did Krishnan with 12 points as well. Krishnan with 5 rebounds to his name as well. But a big performance, and as with India, they are progressing. They are continuing to grow as a nation. They are getting closer each time. But they're just not quite there just yet. At the moment, they're a little way away from being able to compete at this top level. They are improving, and that's the key. Here's the final standings after the first qualification round. It's New Zealand topping the table 4-0. Philippines in second with a 2-2 record. India propping up the table 0-4. All 3 teams progress through to the second qualification round due to the removal of Korea from this process. And they will look forward to facing Jordan, Lebanon and Saudi Arabia in that second qualification round. What a game we've had here today, though. A strong first half performance from the Philippines was enough to bring them through and give them the gap they needed to secure the win. On the back of 21 points from Dwight Ramos, 5 rebounds, 2 assists and 4 steals, they come away with a 79-63 win.